All right, everyone, it's time to get some perspective on some stuff that's really happening and that we need to be completely aware of and be prepared for. Now, this is just some stuff I took out of the canning pantry. And this is what I keep saying when I tell you guys get prepared, stay prepared. This is just one of the many staples that you have to have. That being food, shelf stable, canned, and preserved type foods. Now, this bucket here is whole wheat, so WW flour. There's 3-cup packets in there. So like this one is 3 cups of all-purpose flour from April of last year. They are wrapped up individually in brown lunch bags and then vacuum sealed. These Gamma Seal lids, they seal everything up, keep everything safe. And those are 3-cup packs of whole wheat flour. Now, in with these is also yeast. Now, you do not have to have yeast. You can set your yeast out and get a natural sourdough starter going for yeast or for bread and stuff like that. So these are individual 3-cup or 4-cup whole wheat flour packets. Put it back in, put the Gamma Seal lid on, seal it up tight. This bucket, these are wheat berries. These are whole kernels of wheat berries, 2 pounds in each Mylar bag, sealed up with oxygen absorbers in it, and labeled, and back in the bucket. There's 25 pounds of wheat berries in that bucket in, 2-pound servings in 2-pound bags. Now, we also have a mill, a little wheat mill to grind that with, a grain mill, so we can grind that into fresh flour as we need it. A little frugal approach here from November of 21. This is rice. There's 6 pounds or 6 cups of rice in a reused ragu jar. Still got a good seal on it. Right there under the lid, you can see just the tip of an oxygen absorber in there. So oxygen absorber in a hard plastic, resealable, reused, recycled container. Pinto beans. So there's 2 pounds of pinto beans from April last year in Mylar bag with oxygen absorber. Here's another rice set aside, 2-pound bag from April of last year in a sealed Mylar bag with oxygen absorber. And again, I showed you that. This is the all-purpose flour that's in there. In each bag with the flour is a little packet of yeast. Dehydrated apples that we dehydrated here at home from last October. Vacuum sealed in the box or in the jar. Green beans out of our garden from September of last year. Now, I did a video last year where I ate canned green beans out of a jar from 2011, and they were perfect. They were absolutely fine. Tasted fantastic. Still just as fresh as they were, like we just put them in a canner. Peppers and wieners from October of 21. This is what we harvested, minus the wieners. The sauce, the peppers, everything is what we grew here. And the wieners is, of course, what we bought and added to it. The sauce is from our own tomato sauce, our own tomatoes. This is ground beef. Burger from October of 21. That nice little fat cap on top of it. What you do is you brown this burger a little bit. You put a little beef bouillon and some water in it, and you pressure can it. That little fat cap on top of it, number one, helps seal it. Also, it helps add flavor and give you that nutritional fat that you're going to need in lean times when you need it. This is phenomenal. This is still good today, and it'll be good for many years to come. It's a great little meal in and of itself. And there's enough right there for a family of 4 with some beans, with some rice, with a little loaf of bread. This is beef stew from 2021. The beef, the onions, the potatoes, the carrots. Ain't no different than Dinty Moore beef stew, except it's homemade, home cooked, and home canned. These are staples right here. Everything setting right here my family of 4 can survive on. Now, this is just a sample of what we have. I'm not giving out any ideas here. Don't get any ideas. But this is just a sample. Every human being on this planet can live and survive on these items right here for a long period of time. You're not relegated to just beans and rice. Try eating beans and rice for a month and see how you end up feeling. Wheat berries. I can fresh grind my own wheat as I need it, or my own flour. Whole wheat flour. There's everything right there. With the eggs that we get from our chickens, there's pancakes, there's bread, there's everything that you can possibly make right there, already portioned out in 3-cup packs and 4-cup packs, all purpose for whatever else you want to use it for, with yeast included. This is what I tell you guys: get prepared and stay that way. Keep your pantry stocked. This right here, again, these items alone, add fresh water, or the ability to sanitize, sterilize, and filter water, will keep us alive and keep us healthy. We're heading into a recession. The Fed has already said it. They finally said it. We've known for a long time that we're heading that way, that we're actually probably already into one, but the Fed has already said we're heading into a recession. With the global economy like it is, the global food chains completely completely wiped out, World War III pretty much going on with Ukraine, the threat of China, the threat of our own economical collapse, the threat of the BRICS nations coming forward, nations de-dollaring and devaluing our dollars as they do it, our Fed just screwing things up like they've completely done, incompetent leadership in this nation that we've had for a very long time, and we continue to elect them. These are the things that's playing against us. Add to that now that we're starting into an El Nino climate cycle. El Nino tends to cause all kinds of havoc. Opposite of La Nina, you're going to see wetter in areas that are typically not that wet. You're going to see drought conditions in areas that typically don't get drought. You're going to see warmer conditions in areas during the winter that don't typically stay warm and dry. That's going to increase fire chances, fire risks, forest fires. There is so much playing against us right now. Now, this is not to instill fear in you. This is to let you know and get you built up here. There may come a time in the very near future when our money may be worthless. There's probably going to come a time when you thought the toilet paper was bad with the virus. Wait until it becomes food. Don't wait until it gets bad. This stuff right here will stay for decades. In these bags right here, these dry goods will stay for decades. These, like I said, this is at least 10 years. The beef roast, or the beef stew, I'm going to say a minimum of 5 years, maybe even longer. I have eaten 10-year-old green beans, canned green beans, and they were phenomenal. This is long-term food. This is the kind of stuff that our ancestors survived on in lean times, in bad winter, long winter times, and bad harvests, by preserving and stocking up on shelf-stable foods. This is something every family should do. 3 months. Give yourself 3 months. Give yourself a month. But I'm going to tell you 3 months at minimum. And again, no fear mongering here. This is just good common sense. This is good emergency preparedness for every family. I'm not typically one who's going to be eating bread and potatoes and rice and beans. That's not my normal diet every day. My normal diet every day is animal heavy. And I've just kind of returned back to that because I kind of fell off the wagon like a dummy. But that is my typical diet. If lean times should come, I've got a bunch of canned stuff, not only from what we've canned here at home, but what I bought from the stores, canned meats, proteins, and good fats. We've got lard that we've rendered and canned here ourselves. That is a fantastic healthy fat source. Just this, again, that right there, those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 items will keep a family of 4 or more alive. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to stay alive for weeks on just what you see sitting here, but these types, okay, the variety that we have here, because we have our proteins, fats, and starches. We have our proteins and fats. Proteins, fats, and starches. There's vitamin C in here. Again, green beans, apples, rice, wheat berries, wheat, bread. Everything that you would typically need to survive is right here. While protein and fat are your two most important sources, and they're going to last you longer, they're going to help give you more dense nutrition, the other stuff is just add-ons as you need it. Now, we're not going to be out here building a house and everything else in hard times. So we don't need, like everybody seems to think, that you need all these carbohydrates for energy. You really don't. But in lean times, when times are hard and the risk of starvation or the risk of food insecurity is very high, you take what you can get and you eat it, but you ration it and do it right. So just a little reminder here that we're not as safe as we think we are. All it takes is one weather event. All it's going to take is an earthquake. All it's going to take is more tornadoes, widespread damage in large areas. And our country's not going to be able to afford the rescue. They're not going to be able to afford the services. And add into that everything else that's going on with the recession looming. Again, I'm not trying to scare you guys. I'm telling you, you've got to get ready for this kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff you have to do. You don't have to do it all at once, but you need to start now. You should have started a long time ago, but you need to start now. It's not difficult. There's nothing intricate about any of this. Even if you don't home can, you can buy canned goods. You can buy beef stew. You can buy canned burger. You can buy beanies and weenies. You can buy canned green beans. You can buy dehydrated fruits and apples. You can buy the rice, the pinto beans, the wheat berries, the wheat flour, everything that you need. Don't put it off, please. That's all I got to say on this one. I'm not going to harp on this. And I know I've had the luxury of getting in a couple videos over the last couple days, which is rare. But please, if you haven't, start now. If you have, kick it up a couple notches. Get your family safe and prepared for this kind of stuff. It's going to happen fast, and it's going to come overnight. There's no other way about it. Again, to beat a dead horse, get prepared, stay free, my friends. God bless.